production is more strategic than oil, and food is going to be a very important strategic factor in development in the future. So, African governments had better have their act together. A resounding warning from a man who should know. For a decade, Mo Ibrahim has measured the performance of leadership and governance in Africa through his foundation, which recognizes and celebrates leaders who develop their countries, lift people out of poverty, and pave the way for sustainable and equitable prosperity, while assessing the quality of governance in African countries. Mo Ibrahim knows that most African countries are challenged in the area of quality leadership and governance capable of harnessing the continent's resources to lift the people out of poverty. His words ring true of Nigeria, a country currently writhing in the painful economic consequences of overdependence on oil, while vast agricultural resources remain untapped. Farmers' Market is designed to stimulate a change of attitude towards agriculture. It promotes Nigeria's agricultural prowess, celebrates successes, identifies the challenges besetting the sector, and advocates policies and programs that will help grow Nigeria's agro-economy. Last week on Farmers' Market,
we have abundance of almost everything needed to make fertilizers.
We've written series of letters informing the Federal Ministry of Agriculture that delay is dangerous because what has to do with the farming is especially the rainfall. You cannot control it.
It will be sordid, terrible, if a solution is not found very quickly.
This week, we undertake a weekend tour of Benue State, beginning from a Friday when civil servants have a day off to work on their farms. We want to find out if Nigeria's food basket will be further enriched because of this policy. Varieties of highly nutritious rice in Abakaliki, Ofada, Kano. Yet Nigeria wastes billions on rice importation. Cocoa in the southwest, and yet top dollar is spent on imported chocolate and beverages. Fruits rot in Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, yet imported juice line the shops. 82 million hectares of rich arable land, yet no jobs, and food insecurity threatens.
Our real wealth is in farming, livestock, hatcheries, fisheries, horticulture, and forestry.
It's time to act different. Time to bring Nigerian farmers to the market. Farmers' Market, growing Nigeria's agro-economy. Showing every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. on AIT. Driving over the new Benue River Bridge, we cross the second largest river in Nigeria, the 1,400-kilometer long tributary of the River Niger, the Benue River, into the city center of Makurdi, the capital of Benue State. We are immediately greeted by a symbol which is well known in Nigeria and beyond as a celebration of agricultural prowess, the food basket by which Benue State is acclaimed. Named after the river Benue, the state, with a land mass of over 34,000 square kilometers, is populated by a vibrant people who are in love with agriculture. Blessed with fertile land, long periods of rainfall, and the presence of the Benue River, its main tributary, River Katsina-Ala, and many other rivers and water bodies, the people of Benue State are naturally inclined towards agriculture. However, Its reputation as Nigeria's food basket has grown in leaps and bounds since the early 80s. The days of the first civilian governor of the state, the late Apollos Aparaku, an administrator who placed a lot of emphasis on mass agricultural production and whose years in office consistently recorded bumper harvests in crops like yams, cassava, soya beans, cowpeas, maize, groundnuts, banana, mangoes, and oranges. Aparaku set up effective agricultural input schemes as well as industries to produce fertilizer and add value to agricultural production in the state. These galvanized agricultural production, and Benue farmers went to work growing crops, fishing, and breeding livestock. Even though value addition to agricultural production declined rather than increased in the years after Governor Aparaku, Benue farmers have been unrelenting in crop production, and this has in turn consolidated the reputation of the state as Nigeria's food basket. Benue State is prominent among the few states which feed Nigeria and many West African countries with yam. Almost 70% of the soybean production in Nigeria is done here too. Groundnut grows in every corner of the state, and it is a source of livelihood for many families. This is the Naibawa Fruits Market on the outskirts of Nigeria's second largest commercial city, Kano. At least 80% of oranges sold here come from Benue State.
We have oranges, we have pineapple and banana. This very one you see is from Benue State. In Boko, Vandekia, Aleedi, Zakibiam and Kasina Ala.
Varieties of highly nutritious rice in Abakaliki, Ofada, Kano. Yet Nigeria wastes billions on rice importation. Cocoa in the southwest, and yet top dollar is spent on imported chocolate and beverages. Fruits rot in Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, yet imported juice line the shops. 82 million hectares of rich arable land, yet no jobs, and food insecurity threatens.
Our real wealth is in farming, livestock, hatcheries, fisheries, horticulture, and forestry.
It's time to act different. Time to bring Nigerian farmers to the market. Farmers Market, growing Nigeria's agro-economy. Showing every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. on AIT. As Nigeria struggles with an economic crunch resulting from the dwindling oil revenues, almost all the states in the country are going through hard times. Federal allocation has nosedived, and some states are unable to meet basic obligations. The situation is so bad that some of the states are employing ingenious means to cope. In Benue State, apart from agricultural programs like subsidized fertilizers for farmers, the governor, Samuel Otom, himself a farmer, has a rare approach to boosting agriculture in the state. It is by freeing civil servants from work every Friday in the months of June and July to enable them participate in the cropping season.
The policy of allowing the civil servants a work-free day for Friday so that they can also have access to go in and do their farm work, especially at this time of cropping, and of course between now and end of July. That was actually what we said, that between June and end of July, which is the main cropping period, we allow the civil servants to go out there and also participate in farming Apart from that, we are into advocacy and encouraging the average farmers to ensure they go out there, because if there is no oil to sell and get money from the Federation account, we can fall back on the food that we have here. And of course, food remains a major factor in human existence. Without food, we cannot live.
Farmers Market set out to test the popularity of this idea and also explore the agricultural potentials of Benue State. Naturally, we began by finding out what happens in offices of the civil servants on Fridays when they have a farming break. This is the Secretariat of the State Government, located in the high-level area of the capital, Makurdi. It's exactly 8:15 on a Friday morning. On a weekday like this place bubbles with activities as civil servants go about their normal duties. But not today. They are on holidays to participate in the cropping season. Apart from a few security operatives like him, the place is empty. We then headed outside Makurdi into the hinterland in search of civil servants on their farms under the guidance of one of them, a young farm engineer, an agricultural enthusiast, Anderso Iji. On our drive into the hinterland, it became easy to appreciate the prowess of Benue State in agricultural production. The lush greenery of the landscape, the fact that there are farms on both sides of the entire stretch of the road that runs from Makurdi through some parts of Guma, Taka and Boko local government areas to Buruku in Buruku local government area, where our means of transportation also had to be transported. Yes, across the main tributary of the Benue River, the river Katsina Ala. The river Benue and its main tributary cut across 7 of the 23 local government areas of the state.
Ideally, right now, the river Benue has been revitalized, because I was expecting by now us will be farming oil around using irrigation systems. But right now, as we speak, the river has passed through 7 local governments, but the activity at this bank is very little and very poor.
Why is it that there's no irrigation?
I think the technical know-how is poor as well, and the zeal to take off farming all year round is also poor. You know, people can't sell even when they have excess rainy season. Talk more of them going through the stress of dry season farming and still not being able to sell.
In Buruku, we visited Anderso's farm, where he grows maize, soybeans. His manager has just contracted some young men to make ridges for the planting of groundnut and millet.
Even the maize now on ground, I bought about 4 bags of fertilizer, one costing about 6,000. 6, because for the government fertilizer, the fertilizer the government give to farmers, when you go there to get it, will be very hard. You will wait for some 3-4 days before, apply for 3-4 days before you come in to get it.
Also in Buruku, we changed vehicles and endured the rough ride on an untarred path into the interior, where we met another civil servant who was taking advantage of the day off to supervise his farm.
For a tea farmer, his main crop is yam. Yes, that is what we farm mostly in Benue State, yam, and that's what we're known for. And yes, they don't really get much from this yam production, but we feed on it. It's our staple food. It's our staple food. So we don't factor in the cost of feeding. And the fact that we feed on the yam morning, afternoon, evening, we keep doing it, even when we don't get anything from it. And that is what is sustaining the average tea man.
Apart from growing crops, he is also into animal husbandry, rearing cattle, goats, pigs, and chicken. It was time to move further into the hinterland, driving through parts of Logo local government area. Our destination is Okum local government area, which has Zakibiam as its headquarters. Zakibiam is also the headquarters of yam production in Benue State. This is the yam market in Zakibiam. It is not even market day, but the heaps of yam tell the story. We learned how to load yams into trucks for transportation into places as far-flung as Lagos. We also learned that yam is pretty expensive these days for reasons that we will be digging into later. Tukur is a middleman. He buys yam from Zakibiam and sells in Lagos.
I came to buy yam from this place to Lagos, my 12. To Lagos, my 12. 8 people, you cut this throat. Any one person, you get 1 coach. But yam is 2 costs now. The money I buy 1 coach now, before I buy full truck. I'm telling you true. Before, if I came this place, you have 1.5 million. 1.5. You have 1 truck. But now, if it came from 1.5, you buy only 1 coach. It's, yam is 2 costs. It's too high. Yam I sell before 20,000 naira. Now it's still 120,000 naira.
Yes, because now there is no supply. Because when we harvest finish, the production will be coming low, no product again. So when around December, January is a time for harvest, so the price will dead low. But now it's only few people get that yam up to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Now everybody gets yam. Now even some farmers say they cannot get yam to eat because if your farm is not wide. Because our most problem here is settled by yam. School fees of children, burials, health tenants is a problem of yam. We must say yam because we didn't get anything to support us.
But more importantly, we enjoyed a hasty meal of roasted yam and palm oil sauce. When we returned to Makurdi, we caught up with some civil servants who say the Friday holiday is a good idea.
We have to diversify our economy. And there is no way, we can't pay lip service except going back to agriculture. And leaving one day, that is Saturday, for civil service is not enough. I mean, it's not enough. Civil servants have to have at least 2 days off for their farm, to give attention to their farm before we can catch up. Since the oil that we cited to the only revenue source of Nigeria is no longer anything to depend on, we have to squarely face agriculture.
The civil service basically helps most of the others who are not farming. They have dependents, they have children, they have uncles and aunties who are farming in the villages. So in a way, I think that could have an effect on I generally tell people, if I'm coming back to the village to say, look, I need to do some farming now, I will probably take farming more seriously.
However, not everyone is impressed.
It might be a right decision to give people one day to maybe to develop farming, since maybe the government want to diversify. But on the other hand, to diversify and to develop, you need money. Salaries are not being paid. The economy is bad. And one extra day losing again is costing, I think it will tell more on the economy. Because if you want to monetize, at least they need to get economics to do that. But if they calculate the manpower being wasted and the money being wasted for each of these days, for me as a person, I don't think it's a right policy in the right direction.
Governor Otom says the idea is putting a human face to governance, adding that the civil servants will also get time off during harvests.
Right now, as I talk to you, we are down in salary payment by 5 months. And so we saw that since we cannot meet the demand of payment of salaries, it is important for us to get our civil servants to participate in agriculture. If you don't have salary at the end of the month and you have something to feed, it won't be as bad as it would have been, because hunger remains a very big factor to stabilize anyone. If you're hungry, you're angry, and you'll be out of sense if your children are hungry. But whatever you do in agriculture, you're able to add some level of value to the economic development of the state and to yourself.
That's Farmers Market for this week. Next week, we stay in Benue State.
We have discovered that no much value addition is added because nothing is processed here, and we intend to process our products here.
Last week on Farmers Market, we launched our feedback segment, Farmers Networks, with a topic: how should the Buhari government support farmers with inputs? Should the Growth Enhancement Support Scheme, GES, be continued or scrapped in view of the current challenges with fertilizer and other inputs? Here are some of your contributions. Dende Ayani on Facebook says the GES is waning. Its impact is not in any way felt in the Anchor Borrowers Program. This still boils down to the issues of political will to ensure continuity, which has been a serious challenge. This week, we ask what you think of the policy of giving civil servants Fridays off to enable them farm, like Benue State is doing. To join the conversation, just go to our website www.farmersmarketng.com. Click on Farmers Network, choose the topic, make your contributions brief, and they will feature next week on Farmers Market. You can see this program again whenever you want to. Just visit our website www.farmersmarketng.com. For feedback and sponsorship considerations, please contact us on 009-566-0090. Email us on info@farmersmarketng.com. Follow us on Twitter @farmersmarketng. And like our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/farmersmarketng. Farmers Market returns same time, same station next week. Thanks for watching.